We're supposed to come here, right? Oh yeah, definitely. There's some kind of a riot going on.
How long are we gonna have to wait for a ship?
When we went to the port, they chased us off and told us to come ask here.
80% of the Rugnican continent is gone. It's too dangerous. We can't allow the ships to sail.
Stop lying! Who'd believe a story like that?
It's not a lie. The destruction of Rugnica has even put a halt to the war between Malkuth and Kimluska. We can't send out any ships until we know more.
Rugnica's the largest continent in the world. How can it possibly be gone? I can't believe it.
What's happening to the world?
Sounds like even King Ingobert wasn't foolish enough to keep fighting.
Yes. Thank goodness for that, at least.
There'll be a huge panic when more people find out, though.
We might avoid that if we can clearly convey to them how we will deal with the situation.
Yes. Let's meet with Ion about that.
So is Ion, like, inside of here? We need to stop letting Ion not be in the party.
Where's Ion?
Perhaps in his own room.
But only executives of the Order can enter the Phone Master's room. In place of a lock, there's a phonic glyph that blocks intruders.
Sounds like a job for Phone Master Guardian Anis Tatlin.
I'm pretty sure that you were relieved of that position.
You mean former Phone Master Guardian?
Boo, fine, former. But I still know the incantation to activate the phonic glyph.
The phonic glyph's that thing in the next room, right?
Yeah, let's go.
Thank goodness I do not have to run all through this place to try and find it. A ruler's duties. So most of the Runica plains have fallen into the cliff off. Yeah, 80% apparently. But at least the fighting has stopped. How ironic that the only way to stop the war was with an even greater disaster. Yes, both threatened the lives of the people. If only those in power could realize the truth, the war could have easily been averted. But they're all just thinking about themselves, those idiots. Almost didn't read that correctly. In any case, both countries will need to take care of the refugees from both the war and the collapse of the Outer Lands. It will be a true test of the leader's ability to govern. I suppose I should consider what I can do as well. As one who has been involved in public affairs. Natalia. Yo, if the last of Rugnica falls into the cliff off, what's going to happen to the capital? Is this the glyphs you need to mess with?
Here it is.
But anyways, what I was saying is, like, you know, the capital of Grand Kokma is just full of water, right? And we saw that down when it fell into the cliff off, all of the water was replaced with the miasma mud. So, like, all of that beautiful waterworks going on in Grand Kokma is going to become pretty disgusting pretty fast if it falls down, I assume.
Let's see. The spirit of Yulia is with the Phone Master.
That's like...
She disappeared.
I didn't expect Luke to start talking, but that's, like, fairly easy to guess when trying to use these things, I think.
It's the same principle as the Yulia Road. There's no need to worry.
Okay, let's go.
We're off to see the Phone Master! And here we are. Which one of these could be Ion's room? Probably the one that was straight ahead, but, you know, whatever. Let's explore. This is barred off. Never mind, we're not going to explore. Bum, bum, bum. Am I yeah, I am recording. For a second there, I was afraid I was not recording, but I am. That would have been really bad, because I would have had to have redone this past, like, 20 minutes. What is this room? What's in here? I can't go through there, okay. Apparently it was not the door that was straight ahead, so I guess Ion's room must be to the right. It's the only pathway I haven't taken. What have we up here? Hopefully Ion. Yep, Ion's chamber. Here we go. Why doesn't he get a big fancy door?
Where did Ion go?
Quiet, someone's coming.
This is bad. Only authorized personnel are allowed here.
We better hide.
Hide where? Oh, the other door, of course.
I thought I heard someone. Perhaps it was just my mind playing tricks on me.
Grand Maestro Mose, allow me to confirm your promise.
Ah, yes. The typical scene where the heroes are hiding in another room, and then the villain, who we didn't know was working with this other villain, starts telling about the villain's plan. One of my favorites.
If I help you restart the war, you'll give me Professor Nebulim's replica data.
Leave it to me. I'll take it from Van.
Then allow Dist the Rose to offer you a plan for resuming the war. First, I believe we should have Phone Master Ion issue an official proclamation ending the truce.
I'll make the arrangements as soon as the Phone Master returns from the library.
It sounds like Mose and Van have different objectives.
Yeah, it feels like Dist is playing them both for his own ends.
Mose just wants to cause the war, as written in the score. What's Van's objective?
He's trying to drop the Outer Lands and exterminate humanity.
He doesn't strike me as someone interested in pointless slaughter. Mose feels like less of a threat, since his objective is at least clear.
Then let's take care of the enemy we know first. Let's talk to King Ingobert and get him to stop listening to Mose.
But I wonder if Father will believe me.
I mean, if he doesn't believe you, we could just hold words. How do I speak? We could just hold a sword up to his throat. I wanted to say hold and sword at the same time.
Natalia, of course he will.
I may not be his real daughter. Oh, we'll deal with that when we find out. Right now, let's go to the library.
Wait a minute. I'm confused. I thought what Mose said was that Natalia was the daughter of the king, just not the daughter of the queen. She was from an attendant. Or maybe she means that Natalia was the child of an attendant, and the attendant had just gotten with some random guy, but then somehow Natalia was adopted by the king? I'm confused as to Natalia's parentage, and I want it to be cleared up very soon.
Oh, what are you all doing here?
Ion, the Outer Lands are in danger. Please tell us whether the Sephiroth going out of control is written in the score.
That's the first I've heard of it. I had never actually confirmed the existence of the closed score myself. What? Really? If I'd known the closed score, I believe I would have recognized who Luke was the first time we met. I might even have been able to prevent what happened to Exariuth. I returned to Doth to come to a full understanding of the closed score. But does the closed score mention the Sephiroth going out of control? Not that I'm aware of. Let's go to the back of the chapel and make sure.
The back of the chapel? Why?
There's a phone stone enshrined there. We can check the score. Ion, you know that's not good for your health. Please don't stop me, Annis. It must be done.
Annis, isn't it you relieved her of her duties? She can't tell you what to do?
This phone stone was formed by combining the 1st through 6th phone stones.
Oh, so that little missing part at the top, it's not a complete shape. I think it would be a full oval if it had the 7th phone stone.
Phone masters can then read the entire score from the phone stone fragments. But the volume is immense. I'll just go over the score regarding the collapses these past few years. ND 2000. In Kimlaska shall be born the scion of Lorelei's power. He will be of royal blood, with hair of red. He shall be called the light of the sacred flame, and he will lead Kimlaska Landvaldir to new prosperity. ND 2002. The one who would seize glory shall destroy the island of his birth, a land named Hod. War shall persist between Kimlaska and Malkuth for a full cycle of the seasons. ND 2018. The young scion of Lorelei's power shall bring his people to the Miner's City. There, the youth will turn power to calamity and be as a weapon of Kimlaska, destroying himself and the city. Thereafter, the land of Rubnica will be enveloped in war, and Malkuth shall lose territory. Kimlaska Landvaldir shall thrive, and this shall lead to unprecedented prosperity. That's all the 6th phone stone says about the collapse.
So you need the 7th phone stone to know what happens next.
So, All it talks about is Axariuth and the war.
The Sephiroth going out of control might be written on the 7th phone stone.
Who's the scion of Lorelei's power?
Oh gee, I wonder who it could possibly be.
Luke, of course. Who else?
But Luke was only born 7 years ago.
Ash. It's Ash. Isn't it? It has to be, right?
This is ND 2018. It said 2000, so that has to be Ash.
Ash was supposed to perish along with Axariuth, but he's still alive.
But Luke went to Axariuth before that could happen. This score is messed up.
Ooh, you know what? I bet the score didn't account for replicas. Replicas weren't supposed to happen, but because Jade invented Fomicry, and then Van created Luke, the second Ash, it totally screwed up the entire thing. Because the score doesn't take into account Luke's existence. Luke exists outside of the score now. I bet that's how it works.
Ash did show up later, but he was no longer called Luke, the light of the sacred flame.
Luke's existence, the existence of a replica, is missing from Yulia's score.
Are you saying that me being born threw the score off track?
Luke?
Found you!
This is bad! Everyone, please run! You too, Annis!
Let's get back to the Alveor.
We better bring Phone Master with us. We need to stop leaving him alone. Who's the bad guy? I don't know who's the bad guy anymore. Everyone that isn't in our group is the bad guy. Yeah, we can't tell what Ash is up to, or whether the 6 God Generals are really taking orders from Master Van or not. Or what Dist's true intentions are. I have no idea. About the only thing that is clear is Mo's plan. But we can't let them go and start a war just because the score says so. We'd better do something before Mose starts feeding lies to Uncle. I suppose we have no choice but to meet with him. Yeah, that's probably the only way. I'm afraid. Afraid of Father rejecting me. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Any day you want to go to the next line of text. There we go. Natalia. Poor Natalia. That'll all probably work out, maybe. Potentially. We'll see. Anyways. So yeah, replicas don't... The score... words. The score does not understand the existence of replicas, I guess. So it throws it off.
Grand Maestro Mose, Aldrin has already gone down a different path from Yulia's score.
Silence. You've forgotten your mission for the 7th phone stone and thrown yourself in with this rabble.
I mean, the 7th phone stone isn't going to do too much for us anymore at this point, because Luke has already completely messed up the 6th one, so I don't think the 7th one is going to be that big of a deal anymore. It probably is, but at the same time, like, it's not going to be correct. Like, 1 through 5 were fully correct. 6 is partially correct, and half of it or so is wrong because of Luke's existence, and then the 7th one is probably screwed up even more so.
As long as Luke dies and war begins, as written in the score, prosperity will follow.
Don't resist, Jade, or this woman dies. You look great like that, Jade.
I didn't know that Dis could get out of that chair.
I'm honored by your compliment.
No one's complimenting you.
What are you going to do with us?
We're taking you to Batical. There we're going to have you help us restart the war.
Take them away.
I hope Noelle is safe.
Are we in the Tartarus? No, Tartarus is defunct. This has got to be just some random land ship.
Doth is an autonomous theocracy. I don't think they'll just kill her.
What's going to happen to us?
Luke will likely be executed in order to follow the score.
I don't think that's going to fix anything at this point. They need to find Ash and execute Ash. And Luke, actually. They got to execute them both, because they're both supposed to be dead. According to the score.
That might be just as well.
Luke, what are you saying?
Well, you know, my birth took the world off track from the score of prosperity. Maybe that's why the Sephiroth are going out of control.
What the hell are you talking about?
That's gotta be it. And besides, I don't exist in Yulia's score.
I accidentally pressed A twice. I apologize.
You're an idiot.
What? Hey!
All I meant was that you aren't bound by Yulia's score. You have the potential to create a new future different from the score.
You are the boy with the Monado!
Tyr.
You said you would change, but here you are pouting again. Fine. Do whatever you want.
Tyr. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.